Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Childless, Not by Choice. Before we get started, I would like to thank my sponsors and my supporters. First, I would like to thank Morgan Air Conditioning, Sales, Service, and Installation, serving Tampa, Florida, and the surrounding areas. Morgan Air can be reached by calling 813-500-7765. That's 813-500-7765. Thank you, Morgan Air, for recognizing the vision of Childless Not by Choice and being a part of it. And thank you for all your work in the community. Next, I would like to thank Alba Digital Media for creating my website, www.childlessnotbychoice.net, and for producing this podcast. To contact Alba Digital Media for your web building and podcast production needs, visit www.albadigitalmedia.com. That's www.albadigitalmedia.com. Thank you, Alba Digital Media, for making me look good and sound good. Finally, I would like to thank Devoted, the musical duo who created my theme music. Thank you, Devoted, for your beautiful music and your awesome talent. To contact Devoted for your music needs, email devotedministries@gmail.com. That's devotedministries@gmail.com. And if you would like to become a one-time or ongoing sponsor of Childless Not by Choice, please contact me at Civilla@civillamorgan.com. That's Civilla@civillamorgan.com. Thank you so much for listening, and now on to the show. Well, hello, everyone. Civilla Morgan here, and Merry Christmas. As you can see, it is December 25th, and it is Christmas Day, although, of course, I did not record on Christmas Day, but that's besides the point. I hope everyone is having a wonderful Christmas day, and whenever you're listening to this, I hope that you're listening under great circumstances as we head towards, at this point, full speed towards the end of 2017 and heading into 2018. And so I'm wishing you a very happy new year as well. I hope 2018 is your best year yet. And I hope that you've been taking my advice as to what to do to get ready for 2018. That advice is, as a reminder, to create a goals and visions list for 2018. And also creating space for yourself, making sure that you have kind but firm boundaries with all of your relationships. Every relationship is different. Every type of relationship has nuances, but there's one thing that all relationships have in common, and that is respect and boundaries. So if you feel like either one of those is missing, reflect on those two ideas as you head into 2018. You have to remember life is very, very short, and you only get so many minutes per day, so many days per month, per year, per lifetime. And it's totally up to you how you want to spend those days. So once again, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy New Year, and I wish you all the best in the new year. Well, welcome back to another episode of Childless Not by Choice, where my mission is to recognize and speak to the broken hearts of childless not by choice women and men around the world. I am spreading the great news that we can live a joyful, relevant, and fulfilled life, although we did not have the children we so wanted. Well, as we continue on here, I definitely want to stop a moment and thank my Patreon contributors. Patreon contributors are those who have taken an interest in my platform, whether they fit the demographic or not, the childless not by choice demographic or not. They have decided to contribute a certain dollar amount on a regular basis to help fund my dream of creating awareness and conversation for the childless not by choice community globally. And there's a link in the show notes if you want to click that link. It's the Patreon link for details about Patreon and if you would like to become a patron, because that's basically what you would be doing. You would be making a contribution on a monthly basis towards this platform. Just go visit the Patreon page and check it out. And if you're interested, please do sign up. I am thanking you in advance, letting you know also that all contributions to the platform go right back into the platform. And speaking of that, I wanted to take also a moment. Well, before I do that, let me continue on with my patrons. I want to say thank you to podcaster Sarah Williams of the Tough Girls podcast for being a patron, and for one Jordan Morgan. Thank you so very much to both of you for seeing the vision and being a part of it and making a contribution to it. You are helping so many people. I don't know if you will ever know how much your patronage helps, but it does. Many hearts are being healed. Many relationships are being built and rebuilt. And your funding helps do that with helping to pay for microphones, my podcast producer, and the platform that I use to disseminate my podcast from, Libsyn. So you're doing a lot, and I want to thank you so very much. Let's do the iTunes review. I have one iTunes review this time around, and it was actually, I'm sorry, I didn't see it until recently, but it's actually from October 10th, 2017 by Ateqers, A-T as in Tom, E-Q-E-R-S as in Sam. So I don't know if I'm saying it correctly, but it's from Ateqers from the United Kingdom. And Ateqers says it is an excellent program full of insightful comments and educational. So I wanted to say thank you so much, Ateqers, and I'm sorry I missed your iTunes review. I appreciate you taking the time to stop by and leave that review. Thank you so very much, and I hope you get to hear this shout out. I hope you are a repeat listener. So thank you very much for your review, and I think I'm at 4.5 stars or something like that. So thank you to everybody who's given a review. I wanted to say, and I know I do have it further down in the notes, but I really want to stop now and say that, especially in the spirit of giving and thankfulness and gratitude, I would like to say a great big thank you to Janice, who sent me a lovely package of 2 calendars, 2 2018 calendars from her area of the world, Hawaii. And so the calendars are all, the graphics are all about the Hawaiian culture and the Hawaiian flowers. She also sent me a wonderful bag of chocolate-covered macadamia nuts. Oh boy. I guess you guys know about my chocolate addiction. Chocolate and coffee. Those are the 2 things. And and a very lovely note, of course. So thank you so much, Janice. Every time I get, whether it's a gift like that or something in writing, a review like what Ateqers left, or just an email, whatever it is, it's always timely. It's amazing how these things happen. Because as you probably know, it's not always easy to maintain a platform like this. We're dealing with heart issues on a regular basis, dealing with people who are not quite ready to speak or to talk. So a lot of times I just feel like I'm doing all the talking and not hearing a whole lot back. And it can be a little discouraging sometimes. Although the group has grown exponentially, I'm so thankful for that there are more and more people finding us. There are still times when there's a little bit of discouragement. And so every time I get something like a package or an email or a review, it's always right on time. maybe one day I will tell you the timeliness of these messages. And the other person I wanted to thank is Susan. Susan sent in some money to help me buy microphones. And I actually placed the order today. I ordered 2 lavalier mics that are connected to one. I hate to get technical. Some of you are going to be like, oh, really, Civilla? You're going to get technical right now? But I just have to explain that there are 2 lavalier mics, which means they're the microphones that attach to the lapel. So they're 2 in 1. They're hooked up to one plug. And so I can interview someone out in the field much easier now, because I just plug that right into my laptop or into my iPhone, and we can have a conversation and we'll both be on microphone. So I wanted to thank Susan for her thoughtfulness. And I remember the first time Susan wrote into me well over a year ago, and again, another timely email. And so thank you so much, Susan, for your contribution to the platform, your contributions, because the email you sent me, and then the contribution towards the microphones. And I also bought a little bag to keep my microphones in, so that when I am traveling, they can be in their own separate space. So I'm just so thankful right now. You guys have no idea. Just beyond thankful that the group is finally growing, that it's helping people so much that they now want to contribute. And you guys really made my Christmas season. Seriously. I truly mean that. So thank you very much to Janice and to Susan. And Susan is all the way from Finland. So I'm reaching the world, you guys. I am reaching the world. And I'm so excited about that. There are people joining all the time from all over the world, and it's really exciting for me. So anyway, I'm gushing, but I'm just really eternally grateful for the timeliness of everything that's come in. So moving right along, I also wanted to let you guys know that I know that many of you listen to this podcast on different platforms. There's Google Play Radio, there's Stitcher Radio, Apple Podcast, also known as, or previously known as iTunes. It's now Apple Podcast. Some of you listen on my website. And so there are different places, different ways to listen. Some of you listen on Podbean if you're Android. And I am now happy to announce that you may now listen on Spotify. Spotify. How exciting is that? You may now listen to Childless, Not by Choice on Spotify. And so not only, did I mention iHeart? I don't think I mentioned iHeartRadio. Yes, I'm on iHeartRadio. In fact, I noticed when I looked at my my stats, I'm a big stats person. I looked at my stats and I noticed that I got a lot of listens on iHeart. So thank you all if you're listening to this podcast via iHeart. That's so awesome. And now I'm looking forward to hearing from you if you are listening on Spotify. Remember, I can see where people are listening from, but I can't see who you are. So don't worry about that. I don't know who you are unless you write into me, email me, message me, whatever. I just get to see what countries you're listening from and how you're listening, what platform you're using. And so there's a wonderful way for every one of you to listen, whether you're high tech or low tech. If you're low tech, just go to the website, www.childlessnotbychoice.net, click the podcast tab, and there you go. You'll see the very latest episode, and it'll go all the way back to the earliest episodes. And so we are at episode, what is this? Episode 77. Yeah, episode 77. Can you believe it? Wow. I can't believe it. I'm so excited. But yeah, so Spotify is the newest member of our community. If you're listening from Spotify, let me know. And moving right along, well, I am so excited about today's episode. As if you couldn't tell, I love Christmas. And to be able to post the final episode of the year on Christmas Day has me excited as a kid in a candy store, literally. And the kind of candy store it would be for me, obviously, would be a candy store filled with chocolate and coffee. Oh my goodness. Yes, I am just so excited. It's my favorite time of the year. So let's get started. I wanted to tell you about how the ladies in the Facebook group are doing in their own words. I think it is fitting as we come to the end of 2017 that we look back at the growth of the women in the group and the growth of the platform. And as of this recording, we're close to 260 women in the group. And I know there are groups out there with hundreds more people in there, and that's fine. But Civilla, I am excited about the 256 women that are currently in the group because, as I've mentioned before, there was a very long time when there were just 12 women in there and there was not a whole lot of conversation going on. Now, with 256 women in the group, there is conversation, and I'm excited, just really excited. So the first person I wanted to highlight is Gabby. Gabby, thank you so much for, reaching out and offering this information. And just you're reaching out not to me, but to the woman who's listening, who doesn't know where to turn and what to do next. And I just love that you were able to reach out and help in this way. So Gabby's post, this is an actual post from within the group. At the time, she said, in 1 week, it will be the 4th anniversary of my 3rd miscarriage. Unfortunately, all of my miscarriages have been during the holidays, Thanksgiving or Christmas. This time of year is always difficult, I'm sure, for us all. I'm trying to focus on charity work for children in need. I also joined a mentor program for young girls who have few to no resources around them. While helping others may not replace having your own children, channeling the mourning and at times regret into something positive is hugely helpful. No specific reason to post other than to share with you all, my sisters, on this challenging path. Thank you for being here. And I wanted to add that when I asked Gabby how she felt now at the end of the year compared to January, she said the following: "By the way, I feel about the same since January, strong and grateful, with a side order of some fear and sadness. They are collocated. Coming to the group has almost immediately taken away my feelings of being alone." Now, if that is not a testimony, I don't know what is. Thanks again, Gabby, for posting that. I'm so glad that the group has been such an integral part of assuaging, at least on some level, the feelings of loneliness, because many of us know that as childless, not by choice women, we can tend to feel lonely and alone, even surrounded by family and friends, because as much as they may love us, and I hope that we all are amongst loving people, they don't always understand. And it's good to be a part of a group where women are having or have had similar journeys, circumstances, experiences. And so I just really am just happy that Gabby, that last sentence, she says, "Coming to the group has almost immediately taken away my feelings of being alone." I don't know, that's Gabby saying it, not me. And so when I keep asking you to join the group, this is why. And I am continuing to foster a spirit of, as I call it, positivity within the group. We all have our moments. We all have our venting times, and that's fine. It's a safe place to vent, to cry, to post a post like what Gabby did about the fact that the miscarriages have all happened around this time of year, and she's decided to continue on anyway, and do something for others, to be helpful to others, which is what I always say. Let's concentrate on the less fortunate, because there are people less fortunate than we are. They may be less fortunate in a different way. We may be less fortunate in a different way. We're less fortunate because we didn't get to have the children, but there are so many children out there in the world who need us. They need you, they need me. And Gabby figured that out, and she's doing her thing. She's mentoring these girls and just reaching out, even through her pain, reaching through her pain out into the world and helping other people. Thank you so much, Gabby, for your post and for being in the group. It's truly appreciated. Well, the next person is Joanna. And this is a post that I grabbed from the group upon welcoming a new member to the group. She had welcomed a new member to the group. And she said, hello, and the person's name. She says, I joined at the weekend for the same reason. So grateful for the group and glad you found us too. I feel better for the support in just a few days. Just knowing that people understand. And that's unquote. That's what Joanna said to the person as she welcomed them. And I wanted to add a word of encouragement that was given to Joanna by a friend of hers. Joanna posted this in the group from the friend. And the friend said, I wish I could talk to you and scream, you are your legacy. The people who love you and your legacy, you're in my brain and my heart. Your words typed, I hear in your voice, legacy, that is Joanna, unquote. And so this was from a friend who, who wanted to encourage Joanna. And when you have friends like that, let me tell you, and this friend has children. If I remember correctly, Joanna says this friend has children. So she still gets it, though. She still understands Joanna's pain, and she's still there for her friend, Joanna. So I want to thank Joanna for reaching out to the new person that joined and telling them what a wonderful group we have going here. And I want to thank Joanna's friend for encouraging her through her pain and, wanting to understand, even though she has children herself. There's nothing better than that. So thank you, Joanna, and thank you to your friend. Well, the next person, Debbie's from the group as well. Debbie posted in the group, quote, tomorrow my niece gets married. In all honesty, besides excitement for her, my husband and I are sad by what we will never experience. I made a decision about 6 months ago that if I start to feel discouraged over something, to reach out and be an encouragement to someone, So yesterday, I wrote a message to my sister-in-law and brother-in-law because I knew that even though this is an exciting time, there has to be some emotion of, quote-unquote, giving their daughter away. She responded that the message was needed and timely. I know we all have an ache that most do not understand. I am learning to put myself in others' shoes, reach out and be an encouragement. And what do I find? It helps me to not fall into the quote-unquote pit of despair. The journey of life is hard enough. What do you do when you start to see yourself fall into discouragement over being childless not by choice? And so that post led to an entire discussion. But, those are the types of discussions that we have in there. We can be open. We can open our hearts with each other. We can commiserate with each other. We can encourage each other. And then we can still ask, how are you doing? How do you do it? How do you journey? How is your journey? What do you do that maybe we can copy or emulate? And so, as I said, this started an entire conversation. And I live for this stuff. I love it because I see women feeling better already. Women who, as I said before, thought they were alone. And I know it may be tough for some people to understand how, with 7 billion people on this planet and counting, there's got to be millions of women and men who are childless not by choice. We get that, but our minds and our psyches can play some serious tricks and games with us. And so, yes, we can feel alone and lonely because we may be surrounded by people who have children or are having children or are getting married and just continuing on with what we all think is normal life. And then we may be childless and husbandless. And so people don't realize that not everyone is on the same journey, on the same path. And then when we tend to be the only person on that particular path amongst our family and friends, then yes, that's where the loneliness sets in. Feelings of being different and wondering why us, why me. And so that's how, I hope I explained it well enough for you to understand. That's how one person on a planet of 7 billion people can feel alone and lonely, especially when surrounded by people who are not on the same path. So those are the 3 ladies that opted to just give us a little snippet, a little bird's eye view into what happens in the group and how they are journeying. And I want to thank them again so very much for stopping and taking the time, Debbie, Joanna, Gabby, for taking the time to I hope encourage you. I'm sure encouraged you, because it definitely encouraged me. And so I'm hoping that it encouraged you. And if these words did encourage you, please do reach out to us. As I said, you can always direct message me on Facebook or Twitter, and or email me. Those in the group have my email address. And I just look forward to more people joining the group in 2018. And just realizing that this is real. You can really feel better. It's possible. It really is. So thanks again for those wonderful testimonies to the growth that can happen when we choose to push through our pain. These ladies are just awesome for choosing to share their growth and their pain, knowing that in doing so, you are being helped. And so keep in mind, if you are childless not by choice, and would like to join a group that cries, encourages, commiserates, and grows through the pain, Childless Not by Choice with Civilla Morgan is the place to be. If you do not fit the demographic, but your interest has been piqued, there is also the Childless Not by Choice Supporters with Civilla Morgan Facebook group. So come on in, join the conversation. That group is open to anyone, including men who are childless not by choice. So there's a place on the platform for everyone. And when you go to the website, by the way, www.childlessnotbychoice.net, there is a place there on the home screen for you to subscribe to the monthly newsletter. And for the monthly newsletter, again, anyone can join. You do not have to be childless not by choice to subscribe to the newsletter. You do not have to be childless not by choice to subscribe to the supporters group. Although men who are childless not by choice are in that group, I am hoping that in 2018 I will create a new group for men who are childless not by choice only. But for now, they're in with the supporters group. However, the Childless Not by Choice group with Civilla Morgan Facebook group, the one for women only, you must be childless not by choice to join that group. Now, definitely, I know it can be a little confusing. So again, if you have questions, please reach out to me, direct message me, and I will respond to you within 24 hours. Well, what a year this has been. I have witnessed the growth of the platform, engagement from the women in the group, wonderful words of thanks and encouragement for how this platform has helped them push through to a better place. I have Patreon contributors, as I mentioned before. And again, my heart is forever touched by the thoughtful gifts of the calendars and macadamia nuts and the beautiful note. I have a folder just for notes now that are sent to me. So the beautiful package that I got from Janice and the financial contribution for microphones that I got from Susan. How cool is that? So thanks again, Janice and Susan. I am loving the sense of community that has been created, and I know it will only continue into 2018 and the years ahead. We are getting the word out that there is an entire demographic of women and men around the world who exist and in some cases hide in plain sight. Awareness is being created and conversations are being had. Hearts are being healed and relationships are being built or rebuilt. Those stories of healing and strengthened relationships are gifts to me, just as tangible as the ones I mentioned earlier. I can't wait to see how 2018 will witness more help and healing, and I hope you will join us and join the conversation. In the show notes is my contact information, the website address, Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Pinterest. I'm all over the place. Instagram. Just reach out to me on whatever platform you tend to hang out on. And also, I know by now it's the 25th, you're having family time, but I want to let you know that in case you didn't see it before, under the resources tab on the website is a new PDF. It's one of the newer ones I've posted. It's called the Childless Not by Choice Woman's Guide. 10 tips for navigating and surviving the holidays. So if you're having a tough time navigating the holidays, if you're dealing with insensitive family and friends, or they just don't understand what they're even saying or doing in some cases, check out this 10 tips for navigating and surviving the holidays. I think this will help you. And at this point, if you want to just save it for next year, feel free to do so. These PDFs are printable. They are copyrighted, so I ask that you do not add or subtract anything, and don't share as if it's your own, because it's not. It is copyrighted information. So please help me keep my information viable for everyone. And as we head into the new year, we will be creating a membership platform. So there will be things that will be only available to those who are paid members. As you know, I try to keep everything as affordable as possible, but I do need to maintain the platform. And it does take money to do that. So there will be some membership area sections of the platform, but there will also always be free areas. And that's my promise to you. Keep in mind that courses are being built. That takes money. And videos and the podcast and all of that stuff. But the blogs, I want to keep the blogs free because as a member of the Childless Not by Choice group, women are able to become guest bloggers. And so definitely check out the Reflections tab. That's where all the blogs are. And you'll see that there are several guest bloggers in there. And so if you'd like to become a guest blogger, please join the group if you are childless not by choice. And I really believe that writing is cathartic. And it could be just because I am a writer. I've been writing since I was 11. But I believe that writing, when you get things out of your system and onto paper, it helps the healing process. And being childless not by choice is something that takes healing and time. So please do check out the website. Check out everything on the platform. It was created just for you. And I really hope that you enjoyed this episode. There is so much more to come. I don't want to bore you with the details, but there's a lot coming. There's never a dull moment on this platform. Nothing gets old. It's always refreshed. The website is refreshed, the newsletter, the groups, the pages, the Facebook pages, everything is kept fresh. And so just come on in and join the conversation, tell your family and friends. And in the meantime, again, a very Merry Christmas, a very Happy New Year. Stay safe. Happy holidays. And I will see you again in 2018. Bye.